Your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It's been kind of a dreary Monday. We've had a lot of cloud cover as well as rain showers too, some of which are still visible on the radar right now. But these are all moving into Indiana and they're also becoming less numerous. So we're calling for drier conditions overnight tonight, although we'll still stay cloudy. 41 in Decatur as well as in Lincoln, 44 in Paris, 40 in Champaign. And again, the sensor in Danville is down. That's why there isn't showing anything up there. Right now, though, on our cloudy Breccia weather camera, we have occasionally a little bit of some rain hitting the lens there on our roofing dog INET. But like I said, we'll expect dry conditions overnight tonight. Winds are out of the southwest right now, up to around 10 miles per hour. And so as we look at our planner, we're calling for drier but cloudy conditions overnight tonight. But more sunshine is in the cards for us tomorrow. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Restaurants and bars are getting set to shut down. How owners are going to survive without customers coming in.
Champaign has already signed an emergency declaration, and this city is set to follow suit tonight.
Do you have a cough? Do you have a fever?
If you do, you may be going to one of these, where triage units are being set up to screen people.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
With how everything's going, you'd be very surprised if it was over after 2 weeks.
It's the last night to sit inside a bar or restaurant in Illinois for at least another 2 weeks. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Jennifer's off tonight. Over the weekend, the first cases of coronavirus were reported in central Illinois.
Health officials are recommending you stay 6 feet away from others. Starting today, Jessica and I are doing the same. We're trying to lead by example and do our part to flatten the curve.
There are a lot of changes happening as coronavirus continues to spread throughout the country. The state is mandating bars and restaurants close their dine-in areas starting at 9 p.m. tonight. And now those businesses are doing everything they can to make money during this. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live in downtown Champaign tonight. So Courtney, how are they planning on managing?
Well, Jessica, many of them are offering takeout or delivery options, and some are limiting hours and staff. But many say they still aren't sure if it's going to be enough.
I think there's still a lot of unanswered questions out there.
The only thing they know for sure is after tonight, they'll be closing their doors to the public. That's an order from Governor Pritzker to shut down all bars and restaurants to slow down the spread of coronavirus. Employees at the downtown Champaign bar Esquire met this morning to work out a plan.
We got a plan for the next few days, and we'll see if it makes, sense fiscally, but one day at a time right now.
That plan means only offering takeout and limiting staff.
On a Friday or Saturday night, we might have as many as 14 or 15 people on the floor or in the kitchen. It's not going to be the case anymore. I think, probably the most we're going to have on now is, 5 to 7.
I understand it. Naturally, I'm not happy, as most people aren't happy.
Customer Maurice Sullivan lives across the street. He's been coming here for 40 years. The last time he remembers something like this is decades ago during a measles outbreak.
They'd come out, put quarantine on your homes, and God help you if they caught you out playing in the street or any place.
Philo Tavern is doing takeout and delivery to try to bring in more money. But employee Sterling Bowman knows that may not be enough to keep them open.
We're just kind of having to learn as we go and just experience as we go and hope everything works out for the best.
Bowman says that now, more than ever, they're asking people to order local.
This is the time when patron support and people support and community support is the most crucial, because we want places like here and any other small business to survive.
The owners of Philo Tavern say they hope there will be some kind of relief coming to businesses for the amount that they lose. But Philo Tavern, as well as Esquire here in Champaign, have no idea how much will be lost over the period of time that they do have to close. Reporting live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thanks so much. In addition to those pickup options, drive-thrus will also still be open. Some businesses are offering jobs for people who lose them because of these closures. County Market says they will find temporary positions positions for people who are out of work, and they are ready to hire people immediately. The state announced 12 new cases of coronavirus today. 2 new counties are now reporting cases, Peoria and Will counties. There are now 105 confirmed cases in 15 counties. In central Illinois, there are coronavirus cases in Champaign, Cumberland, and Sangamon counties. The governor held a daily briefing again today. He announced a ban on gatherings of 50 people or more. Public health officials say even if your county does not have a confirmed case, you should assume coronavirus is already in your community and take precautions.
The city of Urbana is poised to approve an emergency ordinance of its own to address coronavirus. This follows Champaign's decision to do the same Friday. WCIA 3's Emily Braun's live in Urbana outside the city building. So, Emily, what should we expect tonight?
Well, Paul, this will likely be the last council meeting for a while that's open for the public to physically attend. And council will be strict tonight on enforcing social distancing and occupancy limits as well. So as far as future meetings go, well, that's where this emergency ordinance comes in. Part of it allows the mayor or city council to conduct meetings by audio or video conferencing. Other highlights include the mayor being able to decide to extend deadlines for payments to the city, suspending licenses or permits for special events, and closing or limiting access to city buildings. So this meeting happens at 7. We'll be going inside, and from there we will let you know what is decided on and give you a better sense of what this will look like for the city of Urbana. You can expect that report on our website, WCIA.com, as well as the news at 9 and 10. Live in Urbana, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Emily, you mentioned that people will not be able to attend physically. Do you know how that would impact the Open Meetings Act?
That is also being discussed tonight. So they want to make sure that they are putting a measure in place so that this can be publicly visible to anybody who wants to watch it. They also have an online streaming service that they offer at every meeting as well on Urbana Public Television.
Yeah, but not just being able to watch. People would also need to be able to comment, right?
Right. There's a lot of uncertainty as far as that goes, so this will be discussed tonight, and I will let you know as soon as we find that information.
All right. We'll look forward to getting those questions answered. Emily, thanks. Well, here are some things the mayor will not be able to do, assuming the ordinance is passed. The mayor cannot interfere with supply and delivery of goods to local businesses, limit purchases of goods and services, or infringe upon any person's constitutional rights. Both President Trump and Governor Pritzker say it's important hospitals set up extra space to screen patients as confirmed cases of coronavirus continue to increase. Medical facilities in Champaign County are taking that advice. WCIA 3's Karina Rubio is live in our newsroom tonight. So, Karina, what are these facilities doing?
Paul, with one confirmed case of coronavirus in Champaign County, Carle Hospital in Urbana says it's important to make sure its facilities stay safe for staff and patients. It set up a triage unit outside their emergency department. The inside is staffed with doctors and nurses treating patients who have respiratory illnesses. They're stopping people at the front door of their emergency room. Nobody can get in without being screened first. If you have signs of respiratory illness like a cough or fever, you have to head to the tent with a mask.
We need more space to provide that treatment, and as much as possible, we would like to segregate people that have respiratory illness from the other people that have, the normal medical emergencies.
Carle says it's using the triage tent 7 days a week during peak hours. If your respiratory illness isn't too serious, doctors discharge you from the tent and give you medical advice to recover at home. Carle started doing this last week and will continue as long as needed. They say this is also helping with the increase of emergency room patients it's seeing right now. And a rep from OSF Healthcare told me they're doing the same thing at their emergency departments. Live in the newsroom, Karina Rubio, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Karina, thanks. Now, as we mentioned, the tent is outside the Carle Emergency Department in Urbana. Carle says it also has triage units at its clinic on Curtis Road in Champaign. The Carle Emergency Department in Hoopeston is also doing this.
We have a follow-up from Springfield. City officials there are making changes after a Park District board member tested positive for COVID-19. Several other city leaders say they were in contact with her as well. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin joins us live from the Capitol newsroom. So, Gabrielle, what is the city doing now?
Well, Jessica, city leaders don't want people to panic by any means, but they do have new procedures in place to prevent that spread, especially to city workers. The city of Springfield is taking precautions when it comes to emergency personnel responding to scenes. When people in the city call in an emergency, the city now says dispatchers will ask them more questions, including ones about if that person has been feeling bad lately. On top of that, the city asking more questions, Memorial Health just opened the city's first drive-through respiratory testing center. Both city leaders and Memorial staff said they need more gear to protect their workers.
We're out there, we're on the front lines, and we have to continue to provide that service. But taking reasonable steps, I think that we can do both. What I worry about in the near future is just the short supply of PPE and those things that do keep our members safe.
Supply is absolutely a worry for us. We need all the PPE that we can get. That's personal protective equipment that we can get. We have a command center set up, and one of the major topics of every single command center meeting, day in, day out, is how much supply do we have, where are we getting the supply, and how are we sourcing it.
Springfield Fire says they have a good supply, but they don't expect that supply to last forever. Memorial's team says the gear protects workers from interactions with possibly contaminated patients. Now, one thing that Governor Pritzker did add today was that National Guards men and women could begin to help with these triage units as far as setting up equipment if that need arises. Jessica?
All right, Gabrielle, thank you so much. It's about to be lights out for video gaming across the state. Also tonight, there are fewer places to go outside as COVID-19 concerns shut down some statewide retreats.
We've got a nice day for tomorrow with more sunshine. Temperatures will be warming up over the next few days as well, but we'll call for some showers and storms, which bring in cooler air for the weekend. We'll have that next.